Some major news here. Joe Biden and Donald Trump have officially agreed to at least 2 debates. One, a CNN debate on June 27th, and the second, an ABC News debate on September 10th. The back and forth began this morning with Biden posting this challenge.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Biden's campaign also announced that it wouldn't be doing the Nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates contest, offering instead one-on-one debates with Trump on the 2 dates that I mentioned before. That was followed by Trump accepting Biden's challenge on Hugh Hewitt's show.
Yeah. Now, let me talk to you about the debate challenge. President Biden just issued you a debate challenge for June and September with the Veeps talking in July. Do you accept?
Oh, absolutely. I've been trying to get, he's issuing it. I wonder whether or not he shows up because, he also challenged me to golf. So I'm a very good golfer. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He said, I'll give him 3 aside. But he knows he'll never play. This is sort of like that, I think. But I hope not, because I really think he has to debate. He might as well get it over with. It's so.
All right, I've got your statement. I'm ready to go. The dates that are proposed are fine. Anywhere, anytime, any place. Let's see if Joe can make it to the stand-up podium. I think they ought to go at least 2 hours. You think the president can stand up for 2 hours?
I think we should go 2 hours, yeah. I think we should go 2.
Okay, let me turn to Israel.
Is important. He wants to sit down. He wants to do things like he wants to sit down. I think a debate should be standing up. Don't you agree with that?
Well, I've done them both ways. The best debate in modern history was Lieberman and Cheney when they were sitting down, but that was a good moderator, and it went a long time. I don't think you're going to find a good moderator very easily. I really don't.
Didn't
I think
you
should
think my
have a liberal.
debates with Hillary were better? Didn't you think my debates
Yes,
with
I did.
Hillary were really?
Yes, I did.
In all
And
fairness.
I don't want Chris Wallace. I don't want Candy Crowley. I want someone who's fair, Mr. President. I just don't.
But let me ask you this. I'd like that, too. But I'd be willing to take anybody. What difference does it make? I'd be willing to take anybody.
And so while the June and September dates are confirmed, there may also be the possibility for more. Trump's campaign also proposed debates in July and August and October, but we've yet to get any confirmation from the Biden side on those. I would also note that the October debate would be a Fox News debate, and given Fox's swift dissent in favor of authoritarianism, perhaps not a great option when one of the 2 candidates has expressed a proclivity for being a dictator. RFK Jr. is accusing both campaigns of colluding against his campaign to keep him off the stage, although CNN's rules say that a candidate needs 4 polls at 15% and to be on the ballot in enough states to secure 270 electoral votes. Kennedy has gotten 1 poll at 16%, but otherwise has largely been at 10% or below. He's also only officially on the ballot in 4 states, although his campaign contends that he's working on ballot access in 38 more. As a quick aside, I will of course live stream the debates when they happen, so if you want to follow along and watch with me, please make sure to subscribe to this channel. Both the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign have different rationales now for doing the debate. Trump has convinced himself that Biden doesn't know his own name and can't even tie his own shoes just by virtue of repeating his own attacks so much. Of course, that strategy has backfired on nearly every occasion, like for example, how Republicans last year decided to heckle Joe Biden at the State of the Union, only for him to completely roll them by getting them to applaud for his plan not to cut earned benefits like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. It was so effective that at this year's State of the Union, there was a conspicuous lack of heckling. Almost like they started to learn that by lowering the bar all the way to the floor for Joe, all they're doing is setting him up to succeed every single time. Masterful gambit, Republicans. Well played. As for Biden's rationale for doing this, he assumes, rightly I would add, that when people see Trump, they will remember how vile he is and recoil at his behavior. And let's just say it's a pretty good bet because for posterity, remember, this is what happened the last time Trump went on stage.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, are you in favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You followed
Are you in
it and a little
favor
bit
of law
order.
and order? Go
Yes,
ahead,
I'm
say
in
it.
favor.
You
Everybody's
asked a
in favor
question,
of
let him finish.
Law and order. Law and order.
Let him,
Protect
Mr.
people
President,
with
I'm the
pre-existing
moderator of this
conditions.
debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer.
First of all, I guess I'm debating you, not him, but that's okay. I'm not surprised.
The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agree.
want to
Hey,
make
Joe,
sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
God, I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that.
Gentlemen, I hate to raise
Chris,
my voice,
he's
but
on
it seems
tape.
to be, why should I be different than the two of you?
Trump interrupted 128 times in that debate. The guy is a lunatic with no self-control and who is blinded by his own ego. So he'll go on that stage and deliver the same performance as he did last time because he thinks it makes him look tough, when in reality, to the rest of us, it makes him look like an unhinged madman. So when Biden makes the calculation that getting Trump on stage will benefit him, I'd venture to say that he's right. Consider too, most Americans don't yet recognize that this election is a choice between two people. They may not be tuned into politics yet, they may think that the third-party candidate has a viable chance, they may not even know who's running. But once they see that their options are Joe Biden, who they may certainly understand is not perfect and whose views may not align with theirs on every issue, and Donald Trump, who is telegraphing to the country that his stated objective is to usher in the end of democracy, who will sign a nationwide abortion ban into law, who's receptive to a national pregnancy registry, who will impose a Muslim ban, who will deport 11 million immigrants, who have lives and jobs in the US already, who will send the US military into democratic cities, who will replace the US government officials with Trump loyalists and lackeys, who will very likely never again relinquish power, well then suddenly the choice becomes a little more clear. And given the fact that they're going to debate now in June, the voters will understand that way sooner than they otherwise would have. It puts the entire race into perspective. Suddenly it will become clear that the primary is over and that the general election is imminent and there is a binary choice in this race. And that choice isn't just Biden versus Trump, it is democracy versus autocracy. As for the debate itself, if we can get past Donald Trump's inevitable fear porn and temper tantrums, the actual records of these two presidents really do speak for themselves. Biden's added a record 15+ million jobs, including 800,000 manufacturing jobs. He's kept the unemployment rate below 4% for the longest stretch in half a century. He's brought inflation down, brought wages up, led the US to the fastest economic recovery in the entire G7, led the stock market to record highs. He signed into law the American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Infrastructure Law, the Gun Safety Law, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, reauthorized the Violence Against Women Act, codified marriage equality into federal law. He's bolstered NATO. He's kept his campaign promises of canceling billions of dollars of student loan debt for millions of borrowers and removing marijuana as a Schedule I drug. Objectively speaking, the most legislatively and economically accomplished presidency of our lifetimes. Donald Trump, meanwhile, lost 3 million jobs, led the world's worst response to COVID, and passed a tax cut for millionaires and billionaires. That's it. So it really is no wonder that Trump will be a raving, ranting lunatic because he's going to do whatever he can to ensure that there isn't any substantive debate that would expose how much of a failure his presidency actually was. So the fact that these debates are happening is objectively a good thing. I want to be clear. Donald Trump has lost his mind. He is not the same candidate as he was in 2016. He's not charismatic. He is angry. He's aggrieved. He's conspiratorial. And any perceived strength he may have had has been replaced by abject weakness. He frames himself as a victim so frequently that he couldn't look less in control if he tried. That's what the American people are going to see. A twice impeached conman, fraud, rapist, and likely convicted felon who thinks the whole world is out to get him while he vows to exact revenge on anyone who's ever crossed him, all the while promising to usher in the fall of democracy. I don't know about you, but that doesn't exactly seem like it's going to be an effective pitch to the American people. I've got a really exciting announcement. I've written a book. It's called Shameless. This book explores how Republicans have exploited their historical branding while attacking our democracy, how the media has proven itself a willful participant, and how Democrats can learn from this to rebalance the political scales and save our democracy. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to write my own book, and so I'd like to ask you to pre-order it by clicking the link right here on the screen. And if you buy within this pre-order period, your book is going to come with a signed nameplate. As you know, I've never had a single sponsor on my channel. I don't ask for money or anything like that, but if you're looking for a way to support me, this is hands down the best way to do it. So again, follow the link right here on the screen, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for pre-ordering Shameless. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more of my content.